Hey basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about what is really a travel in basketball. Now, no matter what I say, no matter what the referees say on b-ball breakdown, it doesn't matter. There's still a lot of people who still don't believe the actual real rules. And there's a lot of people who say that they're FIBA referees, but I can guarantee you they are not. I have been a referee, an official referee before. Short amount of time, I stopped, but I followed the FIBA rules. So this is exactly what a travel is. Number one, when you receive the ball, before you dribble, you're going to have a pivot foot. So whether you catch it on 2 feet or whether you catch it on 1 foot, either way, you have a pivot foot. Number one, if you catch it on both feet, either foot could be a pivot foot. However, you cannot change pivot feet. So if you catch it on both feet and you start pivoting this way, you can't all of a sudden start pivoting this way. Next, if you catch it on 1 foot, that is your pivot foot, which means that you can take as many single steps as you can, but that foot needs to stay on the ground. As soon as that foot leaves the ground, before you start dribbling, that is when it's a travel. So you receive that ball, 1 foot let's say, and you go and you take it up before you dribble, that's a travel. You need to dribble before you leave your pivot foot. So that's why the traveling rule kind of gets confusing, because a lot of people will start thinking, oh, well, you can never leave your pivot foot, whether or not you're going in for a shot or not. But I'm going to tell you right now, you can leave your pivot foot once you have started dribbling. What does that mean? So if you take a dribble and then you pick up that pivot foot, you're good. If, however, you pick up that pivot foot and then you dribble, that's a travel. Now, getting into layups. When you go in for a layup, you have a 0 step, which is the pivot foot, and then you have 2 steps after. You're allowed 2 steps. And there is nothing in the rule book that says you need to take those 2 steps towards the rim. So when I was a referee, when I was following the FIBA rules, there was a few referees who wanted to change their interpretation of the rule, and they wanted to say, because that was when the Eurostep started really getting big, and they wanted to say, well, if you go for the Eurostep, that's a travel because you're not staying in your same line towards the basketball net. But that's actually a lie. That is not true. You can actually quite literally go 0 step, 1, 2, and take a shot. You're allowed 2 steps after you started dribbling. So what do I mean by that? Let's say I'm going in for a layup. A legal layup is when you go 0, 1, 2, and up. That's that 2.5 steps you might have heard of. So you get 0 step, 1, 2, and half step. Okay? So that is a legal layup. So by following that footwork, whether it be with a right-handed layup or whether it be with a left-handed layup, it doesn't matter. You're allowed 2 steps after the pivot 0 step. So how can we go about working with different moves, or moves that doesn't associate itself with a travel? Number one is the Eurostep. That is a very popular one. So for a Eurostep, you can go 1 step, you're going in this direction. You're hoping for your defender to continue in that direction. That is still 1 step. Then you can go 2 step, hopefully your defender's out of the way, and you can go up for that layup. That's legal. The jump stop is also legal. So you go, it's a little bit easier to go faster, but that would be 0 step, and then you would do a hop step in, landing on both feet. And by landing on both feet, technically, I could still go 1 more step with either one of those 2 feet. I hope you're getting it so far, because by landing on, after the 0 step, by landing on both feet, that's only 1 step considering to the rules. So by landing on 2 feet, that counts as 1 step. That's why a jump stop is a legal move. That's why a jump stop, shot fake, and then still one more move afterwards is actually still a legal move, because you're still only taking 2 steps. We have to remember that 2 steps after you start dribbling is legal. It's not 1 step. There's a lot of fans, a lot of people who say they know a lot about basketball, who say you're only allowed 1 step in basketball. But that's not mentioned anywhere in the rule book at all. It doesn't matter if you're following American or Canadian high school rules. It doesn't matter if you're following FIBA international rules. It doesn't matter if you're following NCAA rules. It doesn't also matter if you're following NBA rules. And if you're wondering about the European leagues, the Asian leagues, African leagues, they all follow FIBA rules. So, or even the Canadian CEBL, they follow FIBA rules as well. So, remembering, after that pivot or after that 0 step, you're allowed 1 and 2 steps afterwards. Whether it be a jump stop, which is 1 step, you're still allowed 1 more step afterwards. Or, to really mess with a referee, you can go 0 step, 1 step, and then a jump stop. It doesn't matter. That's still 2 steps. So, again, going back to the beginning, what is a travel? A travel is when you've first get that ball, you dribble before, or you dribble after you pick up your pivot foot. But after you started dribbling, you can then take 2 steps and go in for that layup. I hope that this video helps make players understand what a travel really is. And I will see you guys in my next video. I post every single day, twice a day, and I live stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'll see you guys there.